Hey guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End, and we have all the crazy news today. Kindly press the like button, share this with your friends, all of the YouTubey things that feel kind of weird to say. And welcome, Wolfram. As always, thank you to my mods for doing all of the modly stuff. They are awesome and on top of it, and much more on top of it than me, to be honest. Good morning, Squid Pro Quo and Fraudit Wrangler. And let's see here. We've got JKD Buck and Wolfram. Welcome, welcome. Cynthia, retired firefighter. Welcome. And Fraudit Wrangler just donated. You have 900 pads and you have no idea where you put them. I'll have to go back, but he gifted 5 memberships, and that went to Fisher of Men, Salty Dog 78, Ghost Fox, Atheist Ant, and Pernella. So welcome to the crew, you guys. It is the Church of Mo, the Church of Good Lord, are you even here? Welcome, JW and Captain Kern and Ghost Fox. And Captain Kern, I wanted to maybe talk to you about a stream on chronic pain and stuff someday. Again, these are all thoughts for, 9 weeks from now. In our first story, the cause of death for Micah Miller, the wife of a South Carolina pastor, has been revealed. So let's see. She looks beautiful. I hope that there's no shenanigans. Good morning, Fun Diane and Aaron Olivia. I was going to say Olivia Aaron. It's been a long day already. Micah Miller, the wife of South Carolina pastor, she's accused of being, not good laying hands on her before she was found not alive of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. According to local, excuse me, local medical examiner, the 30-year-old's death was ruled a self-deletion by the Robeson County Medical Examiner, Richard Johnson, ABC. Good Lord. I need to make some honey tea. So they basically said that this is an open and shut case, and her family is not approving. They think that there were some shenanigans. And with the laying of hands accusation, that could very well be true. I hope that for this family, for this woman's family, that they get the answers they need to have a little bit of comfort. Quote, based on the nature of the wound that is consistent with a self-inflicted wound, and it's not in the back of the head as speculated, Johnson told the local news. Miller was found dead on Lumber River State Park on April 27th, 2 days after her husband, Pastor John Paul Miller, of Rock Solid at Market Common Congregation. Good Lord. Just a little name. What the heck? Solid Rock at Market Common Congregation was served divorce papers by her, according to court documents. Before her death, she reportedly told her sister that if she was ever found not alive, in the exact manner that she was found in the park, her husband was responsible, according to an affidavit filed by her younger sister, Sierra Francis, in Horry County Probate Court. Quote, Micah stated to me on many occasions, quote, if I end up with a freedom seed in my head, it was not by me, it was JP. Yeah, that's the thing. Women tend to use medications or things like that. This particular style is more of a man or male thing. Horry. Apparently they have a Horry County. I might go there, just get a t-shirt like I've been to Horry County. Yes. Miller, who met her husband when she was just 14 or 15 years old, and he was between 28 and 20. Nope. You know what? Nope. Someone get Chippy out. Get Chippy out right now. That deserves a F octopus right there. No. Just no. No. And he was 28 and 29, reportedly feared for her life and spoke out about laying of hands, submitting by her husband to her family and other church members. Frances said in an affidavit she submitted seeking to be the appointed the special administrator of her sister's estate. In the weeks before her death, she discovered a tracking device on her car and her tires slashed more than once. Miller's brother, Nathaniel Francis, said in a separate affidavit, John Paul reportedly confessed and apologized to Miller for the tire slashing and the damage to her car via emails that Miller forwarded to her brother. Quote, Mr. Miller's email to my sister continued to state that he was angry when Micah confided or, quote, put family before him and made him want to lay hands. You, first of all, I am the world's worst Christian, but I don't stand up and pretend that I'm not. And I distinctly dislike people that are in leadership positions in a church not living the life. Look, you chose to be a pastor. That means you chose to lead by example. You know, God doesn't want a douche. Miller told the officers that she was, quote, afraid for her life, end quote, as the suspect showed up where she was numerous times the same day. The mechanics later found a tracking device on her vehicle, and she's a beautiful woman. And he's such a douche canoe. Sir, you look like you should be in a John Holmes movie and your dad owns the ski lodge. You have resting douche face. I'm sorry, but it's true. You also met her when she was 14 and froze. Even while Miller was in the presence of a police officer while out in front of the magistrate's office to get a restraining order, the suspect drove by slowly before speeding off, according to the report. In some of her last Facebook posts, Miller spoke out in support of laying hand survivors. In a video, she captioned a photo of herself, when terrible, terrible things happen to you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. RPF, resting peace face. Her pastor husband told the Christian Post that his wife, whom he wed in 2017, suffered from quote-unquote bipolar schizophrenic dependent personality disorder. Yeah, sure, Jan, I don't believe you. You have done she wasn't paranoid. I mean, you did put a tracker on her phone, so it wasn't like, you know, she suddenly became suspicious out of nowhere. No, you were tracking her. You were stalking her every move. Sir, allegedly, according to the law, you are presumed innocent. You are guilty, though, in my eyes. I would not be able to be a juror. I would be like, no, let's get old Sparky out, allegedly in Minecraft. He said that she made previous attempts to delete and went to the hospital for medical treatment on multiple occasions. Quote, I would never expose this stuff of her. I didn't have to now, but every time she tried to delete, I would be there. I would literally pick her up physically, put her in the truck, and take her to the hospital. The grossness of releasing this, and he's just, you know, I never thought that someone would be lower than corroded dumpster water. I really didn't. But this man is just completely awful. But Miller's sister said that she was looking forward to the future and was looking forward to her life after the divorce. She planned to move to Kenya part-time to do missionary work. The family is asking for justice for Miller and a full investigation into her death. The pastor, who casually announced that his wife took her own life at the end of his sermon, what the hell are you doing? Like, and the peace be with you. Also, while you take the bulletin and you leave and go in peace to love and serve the Lord, my wife done died. I have a way with words, but thank you, John Gary. So I do hope that they do a thorough investigation. I think that people are really, really, something smells wrong. And I think people know when something smells wrong and looks wrong. But if you live with someone who is constantly putting you down or threatens to lay hands, please get help. I know look, it will be the scariest thing you ever do. You will be terrified to, get out of that situation, but you can and will do it. Believe me, I did it. It's not easy. I'm not going to lie to you. And if you have, self-harm thoughts, please call the 24-hour hotline. Don't make a permanent decision on something that's not going to last. Every tunnel has an end, even if it doesn't feel like it. But it really does. In whiny teenagers, kidult news, anti-Israel student protester cries over missing graduation after she was arrested and suspended. Now, she is so confused, like, I trespassed, I did this, and now I'm arrested and I can't graduate. Yes, actions have consequences. You are free to, do completely ridiculous things that will make people want to turn away from your whatever perspective. Look, being insufferable is not a protest. It's just you being a douche. Stop it. An Arizona State University senior who was arrested and suspended after trespassing during an anti-Israel protest broke down in tears over missing graduation as a consequence of her actions. Quote, I'm being restricted from a lot of things right now that I didn't expect for standing up for something I believe in. Show me where Gaza is on a map. You know what? Tell me of the accords that set up the Israel state. You probably don't know what the heck is going on. You just needed a cause. You need purpose in your life. If it's not, look, find some way to serve others. The best way to get your head out of your own behind is to serve others, to look outside yourself. I understand you want to be a part of something, but this is not it, and you are turning people off. Brianna Balker told ABC 15 as she choked up. I mean, I do feel bad for this, kidult, because she's never had to face consequences, so now she is. And it's a shock, I am sure. I have family coming in who I have to let them know to not come to my graduation ceremonies. She tearfully added, I'm just disappointed. I'm a 2020 high school grad, so I wasn't able to walk then. So, here it is, and I'm not able to walk. Bacher said that she will get her degree and be able to finish classes, but circumstances under which she will graduate are not clear. Despite the tears, Bacher said she would participate in such protests, which saw at least 72 students at ASU arrested again. I was doing what I believe is right, and I still believe it to be right. Do you understand the amount of human suffering that has happened when people think they're doing the right thing and they don't have limits? I mean, the amount of human tragedy that has been concocted because, it seemed good. There is, wisdom in the road to Hades is paved with good intents. There is some wisdom in that. So much harm has been done to all those people already. I'm safe. I'm fine. I may not walk at graduation, and that might harm future job prospects and stuff like that, but I'm not in physical danger, and I'm not constantly worried about being hurt or forced from my home or anything like this. Now, I did see this on Black Conservative Perspective. He has the video up of this woman. She is a theater major. Ma'am, where are you going to use that? I don't know that community theaters pay that well, and they're usually volunteer, but okay. A U.S. district judge denied the motion Friday to lift suspension of 20 ASU students who were arrested during protests last week on campus. Bacher and her fellow arrestees must stay away from the campus following their suspension, which prompts students to file a lawsuit against the university on Tuesday. The lawsuit accused ASU of violating students' rights to free speech and retaliating against students who attended the protest. No, FAFO. It's something that most Gen X, Genlennials understand. FAFO. You poke the bear and now you find out and you finally get consequences for your actions. I'm very sorry that this has happened to you, but you're a theater major and Look, please, if I go into Starbucks, don't ask me my name. Thank you, T. Underwood. Yeah, probably. And Flash Fan, I am doing okay. We have rounds of storms that are supposed to be coming through, and I still have internet, so that is always a blessing. Where am I? So I make duplicates of these so I can read them and keep the pictures on the bottom, but sometimes I don't get them all because dingusness. Parents falsely accused of CA over a misdiagnosis file a lawsuit against hospital, doctor, and child welfare agents after having children taken away for months. This one hits home for me because you guys know in the last, my youngest two, their principal, I don't know what I did to offend her, but my son wore the same shirt twice in 1 week, and we got a CPS call. And she interrogated them, and the CPS person thought I was doing OnlyFans. I was like, no, I have a news sort of thing, and I do weird stuff with wigs. But no, I don't have an OnlyFans. But it was heavily implied. So the fact that people use, CPS and things like that as a weapon is disgusting. And the fact that CPS is so quick to take kids from good families, but the kids that come in the same day, all day, no food, you can tell they're hungry, nothing. It's a shame. If I become president, I'm liquidating all child's, DCFS, and I'm bringing new people in. And if it takes me 6 months, I'm going to interview every single one of them and make sure they understand what they're doing, because it seems like they mess things up more than they get right. A child welfare investigation that was blinkered from the start and slappy as it processed. But the adults caught in bureaucratic nightmare were ultimately cleared of all wrongdoing. Now the Texas parents who lost custody of their two children for 5 months over a hospital's alleged misdiagnosis are fighting back against the state agents and medical professionals in a 14-count federal lawsuit. Lorena Bourne and Jason Troy, on behalf of themselves and their minor children, accused several members of the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services of a myriad of Fourth Amendment and other constitutional violations. The parents are also suing a child abuse doctor and the hospital where she worked for alleged negligence and related to inaccurate and incomplete medical charts. Quote, the action arises out of an arbitrary investigation of CA, the unreasonable search and seizure of JT and KT, and the unlawful removing and continued withholding of JT and KT from their parents long after any probable cause for their removal dissipated. The original petition filed late April reads, quote, Jason and Lorena are loving parents who never abused or neglected TJ or KT. On New Year's Eve in 2014, JT was born with a head circumference in the 95th percentile. All of my children, off the charts in big-headedness, every single time. It just must, they look like bobbleheads. It was cute, sort of, but still. At a 2-week exam, his head circumference was still the same at birth, but he had dropped down to the 65th percentile. Then the next time his head was measured by his pediatrician, May 2015, the swelling had returned and he was in the 90th percentile. The boy has since been diagnosed with benign external hydrocephalus, a condition where fluid collects between the brain and the inner skull. The cause of the condition is unknown, but it's believed to arise from birth complications, the lawsuit states. JT had a complicated birth, the lawsuit reads. JT's birth records include documentations that he was born with a collection of blood between his scalp and skull. Physical finding was due to birth-related trauma. Less than a week after his third head measurement, Bourne and Troy took JT to Dell Children's Hospital in Austin. There, according to the filing, Bourne was quote-unquote confronted by DPFS agent James Guyton, who introduced himself as a caseworker and allegedly said the couple must cooperate with the investigation into their son's head injury. The doctor who worked at the hospital and who has a contractual relationship with the state of Texas had apparently determined JT was a victim of shaken baby syndrome. The family said they did not know that the doctor in question was embedded at the hospital to act as an agent for the state. This is giving me all the Maya vibes. Sue them hard. I bless this lawsuit. You are okay, Tamara. I'm over here just ranting. Mr. Guyton told Lorena and Jason they must sign a safety plan, the file goes on. Mr. Guyton told Lorena and Jason if they did not sign the safety plan, when Mr. Guyton and his supervisor, Roger Robinson, would immediately remove their children. Based on Guyton's statement, under duress, Lorena and Jason signed the safety plan to avoid removal of their children. Despite the questioning of JT's older brother turning up no evidence of the parents ever shaking their children, DFPS allegedly insisted on a safety plan. Under the terms of the 30-day plan, the father of two was forced to move out of the family's home by the state. Additionally, the mother had to be supervised by another adult at all times when she was with the children. Bourne and Troy went through those motions, the lawsuit said, and complied with the safety plan. When the state's authorities lapsed in mid-June 2015, having received no word from the state about any alleged violation or continuance of the plan, the family, quote, believed their unfortunate run-in with DFPS had come to an end, end quote, according to the lawsuit. It had not. Through counsel, however, quote, and out of an abundance of caution, the parents notified DFPS that they were taking the kids out of state to visit family in Oklahoma, the lawsuit says. Then in July 2015, two DFPS agents attempted to conduct a supervised visit at the family's home in Elgin, a small suburb some 25 miles east of Austin. According to the lawsuit, those two agents, quote, did not accept, end quote, that the family had gone on vacation or that JT was healthy after a recent checkup at a hospital in Oklahoma, as Bourne told them over the phone. In turn, the DFPS sought to have the Oklahoma University Hospital take protective custody of the boy, but the hospital refused. Next, the Texas DFPS convinced the Sooner State Child Welfare Authorities to conduct their own investigation, which they did. The secondary investigation resulted in a literal clean bill of health for JT and a figurative clean bill of health for the parents, finding the allegations unsubstantiated. These absolute douche canoes. You know what? Again, he's going to get tired. The F octopus is going to get tired, but we apparently have a lot. Still, DFPS in Texas continued to investigate. Two Lone Star State child welfare agents filed identified in the lawsuit as Brigitte Hughes and Jennifer Evans, went on to obtain a court order that authorized the removal of JT and his older brother from their parents' custody, according to the lawsuit. Quote, Miss Evans and Miss Hughes crossed state lines into Oklahoma, the filing reads. They showed up where Lorena was visiting with family in Oklahoma, and Miss Evans and Miss Hughes took the children from their parents and loving family. Prior to the removal of JT and Katie, Lorena made JT's records available to Miss Evans and Miss Hughes. The parents subsequently lost their children to a series of foster homes from July 20th to July 2015 through December 21st, 2015, the lawsuit explains. To make matters worse, the filing alleges that two other DFPS agents repeatedly ignored the parents when they provided the state with familiar alternatives to foster care, despite the Lone Star State's statutory presumption of keeping the children with the family if possible. After being forced to sell their house to deal with mounting legal costs, a Travis County court ruled in the family's favor and returned custody to the parents. The lawsuit seeks compensatory damages, punitive damages, attorney fees, litigation expenses, interest, and declaratory judgment, forcing the hospital to correct JT's medical charts and remove all references to neglect and abuse. Amen. Hallelujah. You know what? You sue the tar out of them. These people. Law and Crime reached out to Ascension, the Catholic health system that runs Dell Children's Medical Center, but no response was immediately forthcoming at the time of publication. A spokesperson for the Austin branch of DFPS said the agency has, quote, no comment on pending litigation. I hope gajillion dollars. I would give you gajillions. But but that's just me. In other, I guess this is the Dingus report. I have no idea. But the man who tackled Dave Chappelle at the Hollywood Bowl files a lawsuit against the venue. Yeah, because the venue made it possible. Sure. The man who tackled comedian Dave Chappelle on stage 2 years ago has sued the Hollywood Bowl and its security team, alleging negligent security and battery. So you're telling me because the security team didn't stop your behind, it's their fault? Please explain to me. I can't even get into the headspace that would say something that stupid. Please stop doing a dumb. Isaiah Lee, who pleaded no contest to charges relating to the 2022 incident and was sentenced to jail because of it, alleged in the civil lawsuit that security guards employed at the venue for the Dave Chappelle and Friends event pulled Lee off of Chappelle and began, look, he got more than, they were angry, all right? His arm looked gross. But again, you poke the bear and things happen. FAFO. Are we going to have a simple class on this in every school? With the little meme with the guy with the, chart, like, I would like to FA at a level 7, so I correspond it with a find out at level 7. This is so ridiculous. And welcome, Dennis Heaton. So he said basically they weren't too nice. In a complaint filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court on Friday, exactly 2 years after the incident, the 25-year-old, who identifies as bi and has experienced homelessness, said he tackled Chappelle after, quote, the Dreamer, end quote, star unleashed a barrage of mean jokes that made him mad. He got mad and he couldn't control himself. You were daggone 23 years old. I figured you could hear naughty words and not go cray cray, but apparently we're not raising adults, we're raising kidults who get hurt by words. And joked about homelessness during the inaugural Netflix It's a Joke comedy festival. The complaint obtained Monday by the Times said Lee, quote, became upset by the discriminatory nature of the comedian's joke. Are you a new hire? Have you not seen Dave Chappelle? I mean, that's like me going to Dave Chappelle and expecting him to do a, not like a Full House sort of comedy. This is Dave Chappelle. I can't, y'all. I can't. You know what? You saw the ride. You still bought a ticket. This is your fault. I'm sorry that you got hurt. But maybe it should make changes in your life. I don't know. Instead of intervening to protect Lee, the defendants allowed members of the comedian's entourage, encouraged by the comedian, to lay hands on Lee, the lawsuit said. The complaint also said that a knife fell out of Lee's pocket well after the altercation was underway, and that his presence did not justify the force used against him. Have we forgotten Salman Rushdie? I mean, he lost an eye and everything else, and I really want to do a story about him, but what the actual hell? Sure, I effed around and found out, and I don't know why, and now I'm gonna sue people. Good morning, Tim Swoop and King Bob. Welcome. Jonathan D. Evans, Lee's attorney, argued that the Hollywood Bowl and the unidentified quote-unquote "do" security companies were aware of Chappelle's history of making offensive jokes that target the alphabet people, as well as his propensity for making discriminatory remarks. Sir, you probably paid like a gajillion dollars to be in this daggone concert thing, which how are you doing that homeless? Nothing makes sense anymore. But, sir, if I were the judge, I'm like, nah. And I just send it back. The Firebrand comic, who is not listed as a defendant in Lee's lawsuit, made headlines for months ahead of the incident because of the jokes he made in his 2021 Netflix special, The Closer, which resulted in an employee walkout for the giant streaming and broad criticism of Chappelle's work. He did, what's his face? The Appalachian man who didn't like diversity, trying to say this nicely. He did that skit when he was on the Dave Chappelle show. You saw the ride, you bought a ticket. I don't. I mean, that's what I'd say on as a judge. We cannot comment on ongoing legal matters, a spokesperson for the Hollywood Bowl said Monday in a statement to the Times. Quote, however, the safety and security of our audience and artists are of the utmost importance to the Hollywood Bowl. Security procedures were updated regularly to provide the safest possible environment for those that attend and perform at the Bowl. End quote. A spokesperson for Chappelle did not immediately respond Monday to the Times' request for comment. Don Rickles he found your little weakness and he was like, stab, 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 and then salt in the wound. But he was funny as heck because you'd laugh at it, but holy fazolies, he is not one that you want to tick off. In Georgia, we seem to be getting some good things, getting squatters out, but they have decided to remove squatters. Georgia police remove squatters allegedly occupying a home since Christmas. South Fulton, Georgia police put a stop to a group of squatters who allegedly moved into a vacant home on Christmas last year. Fox 5 in Atlanta reported that the South Fulton Police Department pulled up to the house on Caveat. You're joking. It was Caveat Court. Oh my God, Warning Court, which was supposed to be vacant in large numbers before detaining 6 individuals and recovering a stolen vehicle. The home is located in Hampton Oaks. The station spoke with the Homeowners Association Vice President, Kendra Snorton. Oh my God, she's probably, look, people that want to join the board are not my people. They're just a little too cray-cray for me. Who claimed that the group moved into the vacant home on Christmas Day. The ringleader, we see him walking his dog all the time. He's very courteous and polite when he interacts with the community. Oh, well, he's a nice squatter. There you go. He can just, squat forever. Maybe he's making DIY improvements. They're just decoupaging all the walls, making it beautiful and doing focal point shiplap. I hate shiplap. I can tell you this. I hate it. If I see another shiplap, I'm going to run and cry. The president of the HOA, Mel Keaton, told the station individuals in the group broke into another home in the subdivision, stole a car, and returned to the home they had been occupying for months. You don't even need the Hardy Boys for that. Like, did you break into another house? No. Is that the car in your garage? Possibly. Would you like to tell me what happened? No. You don't need the Hardy Boys or Nancy Drew for this one. When the police showed up, the car was behind us in the yard. That's how we put 2 and 2 together, Keaton said. She explained that the squatters frequented the neighborhood, making it dangerous. They use our amenities. They walk through the neighborhood. They break into houses, she said. Snorton also said it makes her uneasy not knowing who's living among them. South Fulton is located 20 miles southwest of Atlanta. Last month, Governor Brian Kemp signed a bill making squatting a crime in Georgia. An interview with Fox and Friends, Kemp said that the Georgia Squatter Reform Act would allow property owners to go after squatters for damage. Listen, Linda, they're squatting in your house. I don't know that you can get blood from a stone, but I'm sure they'll make installment payments and 10 cents a dollar, an hour. It's like giving Daryl Brooks, things that he has to, pay back, and it's like 7 gajillion. And I'm like, yeah, he'll make a lot of Levi's jeans for that. Unfortunately, bad actors have figured out ways to take advantage of this exploit, really the process that goes through the local government, Kemp said. So we are passing legislation that I'm going to sign right after this interview to stiffen the penalties to go after these folks, also to speed up eviction process, but also allow property owners to go after these squatters for damages. Ron DeSantis also passed a bill in Florida that eliminates squatters' rights in March. A real estate agent previously told Fox News that one squatter in Atlanta, Georgia, stole appliances and sold them. The last incident I had, there was a squatter who totally destroyed the place. Kesha Chadu, a real estate agent and one of the squatter's victims, told Fox News' Lawrence Jones in February. One has gone to jail. They stole appliances, sold them, and received money for them. Selling appliances, there was human waste and sleeping bags for beds because these properties are staged when they're on the market. The real estate agent said any attempts to remove the squatters from the property they're occupying are dangerous, adding that people occupying these homes illegally are doing it without fear. Look, Georgia, Florida, I'm just saying, most people are strapped. So, but I would not try to get people out of the home by myself. In honey badger mode and news, I don't know if this is actually a honey badger, but a curious badger visits a state park and gets trapped in the bowl. That's the only picture they have. A rat badger paid a visit to the skate park in Cornwall, England, but it ended up needing some help escaping. You guys won't have sound, but be careful. Badgers give no Fs. Y'all, he doesn't even have a broom. How are you going to interact with, wild creatures without a broom? Oh, he's like, I'm a little fluffy. I'm gonna need some help. Oh, poor guy. Okay, there you go. You got it. Or not. I hope eventually they helped him. Good night, nurse. A rad badger paid a visit to a state park in Cornwall, England, but ended up needing some help escaping from the steep-edged pool or bowl. The Cornwall Badger Group said volunteer Dave Hudson was summoned to Niquay State Skate Park on Sunday when a curious badger entered the facility and became trapped in a bowl, a skate surface akin to an empty swimming pool. A video posted to Facebook by the group shows Hudson using a blanket and plank of wood to create a suitable surface for the badger to climb to safety. Quote, I'd taken this massive blanket in case I needed to scoop him up, so I popped that on the side of the ramp and he had a little go, initially pulled the whole thing in there with him, Hudson told the BBC. He said it took a few attempts, but the animal was eventually able to climb out of the bowl and run back into the wild. He's There's an increasing population of badgers, urban badgers, and there's a fair few badgers in and around Newquay. Hudson said they're not vicious animals. They don't want to interact with humans. They'd rather keep their distance and disappear. Uh, did I just realize I am a honey badger? I'm like, wait a minute. That sounds like me. Alrighty. And in good news, am I frozen? Let me see her. All right. Well, the computer seems to be going nuts. So let's see here. Stop screen, present. Here we go. I, I'm, a year ago me would not know how to do that, but today, small steps. I'm still technically challenged, but small steps. A missing New Mexico infant has been found safe, and a suspect in custody uh, is in custody for her disappearance, the FBI says. What a good story. We finally get a good story about, finding this precious little baby. A 10-month-old girl, police said, was abducted Friday from New Mexico Park, where her mother and another woman were discovered not alive, has been found, and the suspect is in custody, the FBI announced Monday morning. The Bureau did not provide further details on Elena Maria Torres' condition, but the suspect was not immediately named. Elena's 5-year-old sister was also found injured at the park and is recovering, police said Sunday. These poor baby girls. They lost their mom because someone is a dingus, a jerkface of the highest order. Investigators discovered the infant was missing after responding to a call shortly before 4:30 p.m. Friday about 2 women found deceased at the park near Clovis, a city in eastern New Mexico that's more than 200 miles east of Albuquerque and 100 miles southwest of Amarillo, Texas. The women, both 23, were found with apparent, gunshot wounds on the ground near a minivan, the police said in a statement. They were identified by investigators as Samantha Cisneros, Ilia's mother, and Taryn Allen. The 5-year-old was found suffering from an injury to her head, police said, and was rushed to the hospital for treatment. Fathers of both children have been working with the investigation team, police said in a news conference Sunday. At the scene, officers also discovered an infant car seat, an infant stroller, and a small baby bottle on the scene and began searching for a young child, police said. Through interviews with family members, investigators learned that Samantha Cisneros was the mother of the young female child found at the scene and also the mother to the 10-month-old child, Elena Maria Torres, the news said. FBI helped local police with the investigation. So it seems like they're being fairly tight-lipped on this, and this could be because they know that they're going to have a pretty interesting trial. But I will keep an eye on this and the pastor, because those are pretty interesting stories. And I think that we will have more fun with those. And I think it is interesting when you see a story and you're like, wow, I can't wait for the trial for that, because I am. And in our final story, we are going to make fun of these actual dinguses who think we care, who think that they're, changing the world because of, you know, reasons. But apparently, the weird dress up party that Hollywood holds to, well, applaud themselves like people from the Hunger Games and the Capitol. We have Zendaya looking, well, she looks like someone just dotted her eyes, to be honest with me. I don't understand what is going on here, but okay, you look like a flower pot mermaid. Great. There was also Demi Moore wearing curtains for some reason. I have no idea. What is this supposed to symbolize? I know it's supposed to be beauty awakening, but what the hell is that? You are never going to be able to sit down. And who the hell gives themselves saddlebags? What is this right here? We know Demi Moore is like slender and toned, so she gave herself freaking hips. I can't. Vera Wang looks, ma'am, I know you're older, but you've looked much better. Maybe, look, I'm a fluffy person, but a couple sandwiches, they're good. You don't have to eat crap food, but you should probably eat more. Finally, a normal person, a guy. He's like, I'm not playing dress up with you people. But he did actually like that a little bit. I mean, I would not wear it. I wouldn't recommend Mr. Mo wears it. Actually, I would. I mean, because I'm mean like that. And what is the deal with these pants? Why are we flooding? Does anyone know? Did that come back? What in the heck is wrong? You've got Michelle Williams dressed up as, I don't know, vapor or mist. With a skirt or a dress short enough that her lady bits are going to hang out if she sits down. So I would recommend just standing up, or maybe you can like use that giant amount of gauze to just cover you. I don't get it. I really don't. And these tickets for these things are like $3,500, just absolutely ridiculous. This is normal. I mean, I I wouldn't wear it myself, but this is normal stuff. And then you get whatever this is. I love the Art Deco thing, but I don't get it. I don't get this. What in the hell is this? Someone explain this absolute Ursula of a brown dress to me, because I am confused. This makes no sense. I demand an explanation right now. You have Usher, apparently becoming Dracula. No idea. Um, Whoever this chick is, she's in, that is baby poo green. Look, I know some people can pull off that shade, but that shade is baby poo green. I won't wear it. I don't wear it. I don't use it, but holy God. What in the name of all that is unholy is this getup? This looked like the designer had 84 ideas and wasn't on his ADHD meds and just went, you know what, I'm gonna throw a corset in, and then I'm gonna have a train, and then there's gonna be organza. And she's wearing her hair like a Dutch milkmaid. Make it make sense. I can't with you people. Okay, this is a normal-ish dress. I mean, again, if I had that figure, I think I'd wear anything. I'd wear ball gowns all the time. I'd be like, oh, gotta go get the, groceries. Um, Look, my grandma used to save tin foil, and that's what this looks like, because my grandma, raised 5 kids, you know, in the stagflation. Oh, gross. Well, there you go. But she looks like she got all of her tinfoil that she's saved because she's of an age where she would just save tinfoil instead of buy more. Unless she wants to be a leftover, I don't know what's going on here. Um, that is an interesting shade of green. And those things on my arm they look like floaties. Maybe it's in case the Colosseum floods. Ed Sheridan looking like Ed Sheridan from Dumb and Dumber, though. Oh my God. He should have just worn the Dumb and Dumber style suit. I would praise him. Um, um okay, well, she's pregnant and she's ruffly. Y'all will, I guess I just don't get fashion. Okay, normal. Something normal, but we have the 80s big wave hair. Y'all, if we don't stop with this 80s stuff, I'm gonna get mad. Um, I have no idea who this person is, but apparently she went as a feather duster. So they're just going to use her to clean off the seats. Like, hey, sweetie, can you just slide on down this, banister? It needs to be dusted. She 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 kept all her Swiffers, and that's what happened. I have no idea. Normal-ish. Normal-ish. Erica Badu, I would not expect anything less from her, but she always dresses like this. So, you know, she does her own thing. Um, Lydia Evangelista looks like she took her bed sheet for some reason. This is not flattering at all. She is a beautiful woman. Why would you wear something that makes you look like a dumpster fire? I okay. Apparently nudity was just like on the menu that night. These are what people do in the Capitol. I don't know. Okay, that's cute. I like that. What in the name of Brie Larson? The heck is wrong? Y'all, how is she still a thing? Every movie she's been in has been a bomb since The Room. I mean, the only thing that she's done that makes sense is The Room. No, I don't get it. And stop. Stop broking. Stop, stop hurting, Marvel. And then I guess Zendaya had like two looks and stuff. I don't care. Any hoozle. It looks like AOC did not show up with her tax the rich dress that she didn't pay for, but there you have it. Adult pretenders pretending to care about stuff dressed up in costumes. It's a weird gig, but if you can get it, I guess you go for it. I am going to be sending you guys over to Baker. He is doing the Karen Reed trial, and I'm working on a dingus of the day. I've just finished the closing statements, but I'm going to be working on a dingus of the day. So I'm going to go through day one, kind of speed run it and figure out who is the dingus of the day. And I will start doing that for the entire trial because I can't quite cover it, but I can definitely, appoint a dingus of the day. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to yourself. You know what? It is very humbling to be slower than the speed walkers at Walmart, but I was able to do 2 miles yesterday on the walking pad, and you know what? Small, steady steps. We can all do it. We can all make our circle of the world better. Have a great day, and I will see you tonight for Nightly Newsy News. Bye, guys.